Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last video of the Road to Canada Master Series this year. I know, I freaked everybody out by saying that, oh, I'm a Canada Master now. No, far from it. But in our last tournament, which was about a month ago, we played in the 2025 Southern Alberta Open, and I'm just going to show you some games that I played. I played two 2000 rated players, and then I played two people that were around my rating. And I played in the premier section, and this tournament was very, very tough. I had learned a lot from my mistakes. And honestly, I wish I could get it back like my last game, which I will show you guys, but let's get into the video. First opponent I played was a 21-25, and when I tell you this guy is good, this guy was good. But this guy was out of shape. And this guy hadn't played an over-the-board tournament game in 22 years. That's a freaking long time. Like, I didn't know what to play. And I was against the black pieces. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go with my e4. I don't know what he plays. I have never played this person before. And he had nothing in the database because he had like 2-3 tournaments from like 2003. Like, dude played tournaments before I was born. Just insane. Anyways, e4, c5. I'm like, okay, this dude plays the Sicilian. I know exactly what to play against the Sicilian. Knight f6, d6, and then we played the Alpin. And he was out of prep right off the hop. I mean, he looked a little bit like he was struggling. He was trying to think of moves and prep and all that stuff. And he goes here. I go to h3. And then he plays this very interesting sideline, which is bishop to d7. Now, the thing about bishop d7, I'm actually going to turn off the arrows if I can. I don't know how to do that. There. Okay. So he plays bishop to d7, and this is like the fourth most popular move, but it's very, very like committal. It really doesn't show what black's real purpose is. I guess he wants to just instantly start attacking the pawn. I bring my bishop out and he goes here. But the reason why this kind of doesn't work is that the only move, the only move that white has to play to hold advantage is basically just play queen e2, defend it, bring the bishop back, and then start pushing. And so that's what I did. He goes here. I drop my bishop back to c2. He goes here, and I instantly play for d4. I always play d4 before I castle, because according to the engine, it's better, and it wants to attack, it wants to set it right off the bat. Because if I start doing the castling first, black has options to castle and develop faster. So it's just a matter of being go right off the hop. We get takes, and then we get the first very odd move. Like in this position, like you should take back. And what we get is castles. This is just bad because I can play d5, bring out my knight, stop his knight from advancing, and then bring my bishop here, and life is good. I'm threatening the knight, and look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. 6 of his major pieces that aren't pawns are on the 7th and the 8th rank. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, I am in good shape. I should be able to win this. I go a4 as a way to stop, once again, a pawn push in and of itself, because the knight and the bishop protect, and yeah, he can't push. So he goes back here again, which I kind of thought was a little odd. And so now, in this position, I should just play bishop to f4, but first I castle. He plays this. I play a5 so that he stops because of en passant. I wouldn't care if he brought his knight. I would just exchange it anyway. Life is good. He brings his knight back. I bring bishop to f4, and life is good. Life is very good. And in this position, I thought of an interesting tactic. Apparently, it's not great, but I thought, let's say he played something very odd like h6. I thought of sacrificing and then pushing and then pushing and then winning back the piece again. I thought that was very cool. I think I would be up the pawn if it went through, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of why it didn't work. Let's try this. It wants me to play e5 right away, and I do get it, but I thought this was more fancy, and I like this a lot more. Because yeah, it clearly is. I expected this, and after takes, this is fine. So I calculated this. Apparently, this is an insane computer move. After this, it's just this, or maybe it's just knight takes and knight b5. Wow, just ignoring that. Apparently, this is even. So I thought otherwise. I thought that was necessary, but I guess it wasn't. And he plays f6 and stops that. And now this is where I start to have trouble because basically I kind of am trying to maneuver my. I thought maneuvering my knight was the best idea, but apparently what I had to do was start an attack on the queen side by going rook f to b1 and pushing for this. I didn't do that. I go here, and then he goes knight to e5, and now I just need to just sit and chill. Like literally, all I can do is I can literally just go here. He can take my bishop. Life will be fine. My knight is on a good square. Even if he goes here, like I just have knight back to c4, and life is good. And yeah, then I can protect. Everything's fine. My late squares are intact. My light square bishop's gone, so this is helpful for me. And this is just a really good position for the white pieces. Instead, I do the exact opposite. And I panic and I take with the bishop. This is wrong. And the reason why this is wrong is because now I play this. Block has an insane move to get back into the game. Bishop h5. And this is under attack. This is going to get weakened. And I'm like, uh-oh. And I have to play one move. And that one move is g4. There's no other move. Otherwise, I would be like losing pieces and material. I didn't want that. And now he just goes back bishop back to e8. He literally did this and this in 2 moves. But the reason why he's winning and has an advantage is because my position's weak. And the rest of the game, I try and fight. I get a pawn, but he starts attacking on my side. And yeah, he's going to infiltrate on here. I go here. He goes bishop here. And I'm like, uh-oh. This about to get bad. And I was thinking like this is all coming in. The bishop's going to just take, and it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath. And I panic. And I was like, oh, I'm dead lost. I panic. I said, I'm dead lost. There's nothing I can do. I have to trade my rook for the bishop or for the knight. What's really weird is that, I mean, even this, I could have done this and would have been like fine. But like rook c8, yeah, this is just, yeah. I mean, fine, like surviving fine. But other than that, I was like, I'm taking here. He plays this very nice committal move. He stops this from any tactics. And I just trade. He gives a check first, which is very smart. And now it's just bad. It was just bad the entire game. I just go here. He takes, wins a tactic, and my knight's pretty much gone. I mean, what can I do? There's nothing really I can do. And even if I go here, he's just got e4. And this is just GG's. It's all coming down. And all because I made one minor mistake in the middle game. And I was like, well, that's disappointing. Really didn't want to have to do that. But maybe we can just bounce back, right? Maybe we can bounce back, have a good game. And that's where we we play a girl. And the girl's name is Shatipa Luabov. She's got, I think, a woman title norm already, which is crazy. And she's like 11, I think. And so very strong, very strong player. She's 16, 17, which is, I mean, she's definitely at her low point because she's had a couple tough tournaments in some junior ones. And I was like, okay, it's gonna get a good game. She plays e4, and I did some theory against her, kind of some prep. She loves playing exchange, and she only plays like this bishop variation with this and this, and she's never faced queen c7. And queen c7 is like the most dynamic in the exchange caro, and that's kind of what we get here. And life is good, and she plays this knight move, and then she plays this knight back, and I start to realize something, and I'm like, hello, this doesn't work. Just so you know, I'm going to go for this whole full-blown attack, by the way. And it's going to be chaos. So I go here, she goes here. Knight f6. And on move 10, she spent an hour on her next move. I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, now you just play h3. Right? You play h3 and you just take and yeah, life is good. Right? I just bring my bishop back and you're going to have to deal with this pawn for some reason. And that's kind of how it goes. I think the line goes h3, bishop takes g, h6 g4, and then knight takes g, and you can't take back because there would be mate. Or would it? No, there's this, and then king d2. Oh, sorry, no, king d2, and you run your king this way. Yeah. And this is apparently the line that's better for white, which I don't get because, like, this is just insane. Like, this is apparently, like, the best combination. White is just winning, even though it's, like, 2 bishops for a rook and 2 pawns. Like, it's a crazy line. But I don't know that far into the line after this. All I know is, like, bishop takes this and just bringing the bishop back. That's basically all that I know. And, yeah, it's apparently white's winning after this. I'm going to have to try and struggle. But thankfully, I didn't go too deep into the theory, and she forgot the theory. And she spent an hour playing bishop to d2. And so now I'm thinking, oh, well, this is very nice for me, because now I can start playing h5. And now that I have the initiative. And she goes here, and I'm like, oh, you know I can still play h4, right? You can't take because I go rook takes, and this is the pin. So she's like, well, I gotta do something about my knight. It's attacked. The knight can't go anywhere safe, right? If it goes back, well, that's just, this is just crazy. If you go back, there's just h3. And yeah, the knight is no longer protected by the pawn. It's gonna get taken, and yeah, it's gonna be bad. So yeah, you really can't retreat your knight back. So after h4, she has to go knight f1, which is just terrible. And oh, by the way, I can play knight e3 or like knight e4. She goes back because this is hanging, and she really can't go anywhere because I still play the same tactics. And after bishop c1, h3. And this is just not good for white. And she starts to crumble. I play f5. I'm like, okay, I'm defending this, and this is like a crazy good structure. I have sacrificing opportunities at all angles. This is a nasty pin. You can't do anything about this. Like, it's crazy. Knight to e3. She reroutes. I just walk my bishop back. Can't really play this because that's just silly. You're just going to get taken. And I'm going to keep my attack going. Bishop to e2. Right? It starts to get fun. And she has like 10 minutes on the clock here. And so when she plays this move, I'm thinking, okay, this is no longer defended. Like, this is no longer attacked. And the computer wants me to long castle right away. I thought it was smooth. I thought a long castle for a very long time. That being 4 minutes. I thought of long castle for 4 minutes and then said, I'm on the attack. Why do I need to long castle when I can just play f4? Absolutely nasty. Like some nasty stuff. And the computer hates this move. Uh it goes from 0.107 to 0.103. It has so unreasonable hate for this move. It just instantly attacks. And if like here, then I have this. And then I'm gonna like long castle, bring my rooks in, and then slowly. But like, look at this. This is I'd rather have this and have the pressure just scoping down with my two bishops. Like this is just mean. The pawn controls, the rook comes in, I long castle, and yeah, all hell is breaking loose. And I just have cannons flying down. And so f4, right? Well, she panics and she goes back here. Not a good move. Takes. And now you have to take here. And I can still sacrifice, but at least, like, let's say I sacrifice here, right? She can go here and basically lose the pawn and then try and, like, long castle this way. So, yeah, that's basically what happens. I take, but she takes the other way. And now the king is exposed on both sides. And so I can sacrifice my bishop, this time with a stronger attack. You can't take because it's mate. So she doesn't take, she goes king f1. And now the king is exposed, and I just play a super mean move. And I just say, hey, Shatipa, this is just not helping for you. Like, everything is coming down. This is just controlled. Everything is gone. And I got rook f8 as a brilliant move, and I was like, dude, this is just too mean. Why castle when you could just play rook f8 and just be an absolute menace to society? And it didn't take long for her to lose the game. I mean, bishop e3 takes, and she tries to run her king. Little does she know that this king was kind of safe here when it can be. And then queen just infiltrates, and she resigns. And just an absolute masterclass of a Caro-Kann attack. I mean, it could have been bad if I had not understood the theory properly after, like, here, where there is h3. It's so. I mean, you really got to know your engine theory if you're at it. But yeah, this was very, 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 very interesting. And yeah, this was the second game. And so, had a bad game to start off playing at 2100, had a good game against a 1600. I drew my friend who's like 1900, and then we get this game. This is Kevin Goodman, legend of the game, played in the Seminar Open back in this last year as well. My buddy beat him, but I was matched up against him, and I didn't know what he played. And apparently, after looking at his games, he plays knight f3, and he plays like some sort of ready. And that's kind of what we get into, but I play this like Slav setup. Nothing too crazy. He plays this very, very interesting move of knight here, but after takes, this is now a backwards pawn. And so I very much like this position. I go rook here, I bring my queen out, I bring my rook out of the way. And right around here is where it gets very, very interesting. Apparently, I'm just negative 1.1. So I don't even know I have a better structure. And I'm winning. And I'm winning because of queen c7, which I don't get. I was like, okay, queen c7, can he just take? But apparently this is just trapping the queen. So I didn't actually see that. So I kind of was scared. And instead I played queen c6 with the same idea. And I was like, let's trade the queens, because if we trade the queens, I mean, I would very, very much enjoy this position. I'd rather have something barreling down, have a6, p5, and life is good. None of that happens. after c6 and a5, I go here, thinking, oh, you take, I'm just going to win the queen. But here's the funny thing. He plays queen a6, and it's dead lost for white because of an absolutely insane move that I missed. And what's funny is that if this move wasn't made, I would have still been winning, but I made the wrong calculation. You see, in this situation, I'm like, okay, he's got his pawn off to this, and I took. So this is what I played in the game. But what's crazy is I lose my queen after rook takes. And in this position, it's considered winning. So I played all this. And this is the position that I got after 21 moves. Just completely winning, apparently. But this is tough, playing a queen versus a bishop versus two rooks and a knight. Like, it's difficult, right? It's winning because white has the worst position ever. White can't move its bishop and stuff. But this is what I got after 21 moves. But after queen a6, you win the queen. And I completely missed knight b8. Queen takes and rook c7. And the queen has no squares, by the way. Just missed this. And I would have won. He probably would have resigned. Yeah, just insane. I completely missed knight b8. And I should have just kept attacking the queen. But I didn't. And after 21 moves, we got into this position, and I ended up like holding, but then panicking after he played this. And I should have just brought my rook back. But I thought, oh, I'm going to lose my rook. He's just going to go here. And then I'm going to be like having to find a way to, get back. But apparently after this is completely winning for black. I mean, I guess. Like, this is just insane. I don't find this winning at all. I mean, for me, this is hard. This would be very, very hard over the board. And you might be saying, oh, well, look at the engine. The engine says negative 4.1, but you don't have engines. And playing a queen and versus a rook and a knight, it's space. I thought this was winning, or at least drawn for white. Because here's what happens. I sacrificed my rook. And we get the exact same thing. I got a rook and a knight, but he's got a queen, and his queen's more active. His queen was back here, but now it's more active, and he goes here. Now white's winning. And the reason why is because the white had to try and defend this passed pawn that went back. And now the pawn hasn't gone forward. And so now it can just hang around. The king comes into the game. And this was just extremely difficult. He just surgically, basically, found a way. I had to sack my knight, and I had pawns, but my king's exposed. My king is away from all these pawns, and a matter of time, he gets all my pawns, and I resign. A miscalculation, and it resulted in my downfall. And even though I was winning, I didn't feel winning, and I felt less powerful in that game. And maybe I just need to learn my end games of like rook knight and evaluate better. But at that point, I thought, oh, I'm just dead lost. I'm not winning this game, and it was just bad. So there's that, and then we head into the final round. And the final round, I honestly have to say, was the worst game of my life. It sucks because I was like going into this game, guns blazing, knowing my theory all in. I get the Caro-Kann fantasy, and I know the Caro-Kann fantasy pretty dang well, and especially with this E6 line because I play this E6 line. We played the fantasy last tournament, Ladhi, Talha, and I, in the Calgary International. It ended in a draw because, my queen got active and I got lucky. But I knew my theory. So queen d3, He goes here. I bring my bishop out to f4, and he plays this b6 move to bring the bishop out like this. And this is kind of what you need to do. I bring my queen out of the way. I hit his bishop. And so now I should play queen takes, and then after he goes here, play takes, and then after he plays e5. Oh, sorry, not that. After he plays e5, then there's bishop g3, and then he can play d4. And this gets very interesting. Like, yeah, this is kind of what I have to face against. And this is what black is saying is better for him. And you have to try and fight for the advantage. Maybe there's ideas of like, I don't know. I'd have to turn on the engine for this. How do you? What? The engine says knight takes d4. Oh, this is insane. Knight takes, queen takes. What the? Bishop takes g. Oh my goodness. Apparently, I don't know anything. And king e3. And apparently, this is fine for white. I don't get this. I just, yeah. Okay. Anyways, none of that happens. After bishop takes, I play knight takes. This just looks like a normal move. And after bishop takes, I'm playing the castle long. Anyway, I'm fine with that. He takes here, I take here, and then he goes here. And he makes the first mistake because queen takes g7, and uh-oh, you can't castle no more. And he thought for like 45 minutes, play here. I take his pawn, he goes here, and apparently I can just play e takes d5. Because if you take back, I just go here, and I win your rook. Now, let's say he doesn't take back. Let's say he goes here. Well, guess what? Long castles, this is coming in. I can actually go takes. You can't take back because the rook is... And, yeah, all this stuff. Guess what doesn't happen after rook c8? I castle instead now. And I shouldn't have done that because now that allows d4. And so this game gets really interesting because I play something very cool. I thought I got this. You can't take because this. And I thought I can just shut down all the squares for the knight to move. He takes knight e4. I'm planning to mate him right here. Like, out of nowhere. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, oh yeah. We got this, right? He goes knight f5. And now I can't play this because the king comes forward. So I was like, okay, I don't want to rush it yet. Because if I play this now, the king can go to e7 and run the other way. I wanted to have that king sit there. So I play rook to g1. Seems sensible, right? Filing down the file. Firing down the file, more like it. And takes, right? And then he plays queen e7. Sorry, I had some annotations from earlier analysis. And this is bad. Because it's just bad. There's rook g8. And after here, there's bishop to g5. But guess what? That doesn't happen. Because after I thought here and here, I'm like, oh, his king runs away. No! What am I doing? And I can't put my knight here because, you know, yeah, his knight takes and I go here and it's just bad. And apparently if I even did this, I mean, takes, and apparently this is like fine for black because now black just goes bishop or queen f7. And that kind of is what happened. But I panicked. I played knight d6 check. And yeah, same idea. I bring my queen back. His king gets in the game. And he's totally safe. And I just completely fumbled. I mean, I played b4. Like, what was I doing with b4? Like, I think I was trying to go b4, b5. But then I completely missed d3. And d3 literally was my demise. saw that move and I'm like, no, no, what am I doing? And I spent so much time. I played Rook G4. I don't know what Rook G4 was, but he gets in and he starts taking my pawns and he chases my king all around the board and I lose my queen. Like, just these simple things. Just, I miss tactics. I miss ideas. I go on a huge attack and then I don't capitalize on the attack. I just don't attack anymore. I just get scared. I go for these big attacks. Some work, some don't. Where I have these big, large leads, and then they just crumble. And yeah, this was the first tournament where I lost a little bit of rating. It wasn't too much, considering that I'm like what I peaked at 1748, and I'm like 1740 now. That's the national rating. But yeah, I mean this next year is going to be a lot better. Hopefully, hopefully I don't make mistakes like these where I'm just giving up pieces for absolutely nothing. I mean, yeah, this was just a terrible, terrible tournament. And like this was a learning tournament. I knew this was going to be a learning tournament considering I was going to be playing a lot of better players. And the guy that I played in the first round actually won the tournament. I think got second or something. Or no, he tied for first. And so yeah, this tournament was a huge learning curve and I had a lot of fun at the end of the day. But you know, you win some, you lose some. Let's take a look at my profiles. Kind of give you guys a idea of what's going on. So here we go. This is my national rated profile. As you can see, Chess Federation of Canada. I am 1740 regular, 1748 regular high. I did play also a couple of rapid tournaments online, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm 1767, and 1777 is my all-time high. So like I'm very close to my peak. I'm pretty much at my peak. I can just grind a little harder, and should be there. Give it some time. Give it some love, and 2026. I do have some good solid goals. For the FIDE profile, 1711. This is our year-end rating. We went from around the 1500s to 1700, which is definitely a big gap. Some of our best wins were against some players in, I think it was in November, or maybe it was. Yeah, we had a bunch of wins against some 1700s in Edmonton. And then in October, we had our biggest win against an 1823 FIDE rated player. But this guy was like 1900 FIDE. And we ended up winning all these games in the Lethbridge Open. That was kind of the breaking point of getting up to our peak. And honestly, it was a great tournament. This year, I think we had, 15 wins, 10 losses, and 9 draws. Here's a little bit of the stats. These are from all time. So I don't know if this is accurate. It says I played 37 games in total over the board, which is kind of a lot. I think I've played around that, maybe even like 40 some odd games over the board now. And a lot of it was this year. Just straight up grinding, just straight up playing games. And yeah, this is kind of where it started, 1622. Then we were around 1577 after playing only 2 games in that Edmonton Spring. And then we just kind of drove our score up, and away. So, yeah. In the end, this was a very good year. 2025 over the board chess was spectacular. I mean, nothing short of success from getting from the lower intermediate to the high intermediate, or low advanced now. And yeah, we got some goals for next year. I hope to break 1800. 1800 seems so close. I mean, it could be difficult, but I think we can actually do it. 1800 national is possible. 1800 FIDE may be a bit more difficult, but we can do it. I can see 1800 FIDE. And maybe we get to 1900 national. I can see that too. 2,000 might be a reach, but sky's the limit. So what's holding us back for 2026? That we shall see. So if you have been following, let's go do it. I don't see why not. We just got to need to work on tactics, puzzles, get in the books, play a few more games, get our rating up. I think we lost a ton of rating points after the tournament. We went from like 2,100 to like low 2,000s. So yeah, we got a lot of grinding to do. We got a lot that we can work on. And man, I'm gonna be so stoked if we get closer to our goal. You might hit a plateau. You never know. You might go on a huge losing streak. You never know what's happening and gonna happen in 2026. So yeah, I'm taking. This is the road to title series as an adult learner, and I'm out.